It's a huge Thursday night of women's basketball in the ACC. ACC Network Extra on ESPN. There's one remaining undefeated team in college basketball, men's hoops, women's hoops. The NC State women's basketball team enters tonight at 20-0 as they take on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. We welcome you to the Joel Coliseum, everybody. Evan Leffler with Stan Luter, delighted to have you with us. I'm not sure anybody picked NC State to be the last undefeated team standing, but here we are on the verge of February. They're still perfect.
Well, they find ways to win. They don't always impress you and dazzle you, but they play solid defense. They value the basketball when need to. They've got some big-time players making big-time shots. And for Wake Forest, just continue to get better each and every game.
Deeks are coming off a win just like NC State. The Wolfpack have not been led by any one player throughout the season. It's truly been a team effort, but their leading scorer, Kiera Leslie, she's been really important.
Yeah, Kiera Leslie is a dynamic player. I mean, she scored 17 games, double figures this year. She's got a lot of variety in her game. She leads the team in scoring. She leads the team in rebounding. She leads the team in three-point baskets made. And with Grace Hunter being out for the season, she's taken on even more of a scoring role. She can score a lot of ways, just so as Ivana Ratsa. In the last 3 basketball games, Ratsa's led this basketball team in scoring. She's the versatile player for Wake Forest, and she's got to step up and play. She's got to be that leader. Moves well without the basketball, can defend, can run, can rebound, can make plays when needs to, and she's going to have to continue to do that if the Demon Deacons expect to pull the upset.
She's been forced into a larger role with no Alex Sharp, no Eliza Penna. Wake's 2 leading scorers, neither of them expected to play tonight. Third member of our broadcast team down on the floor is Haley Brooke McFadden. Hey, Haley.
Thanks, guys. I was able to talk to both coaches before the game, and Coach Hoover told me that after coming off a big win against UVA and having a great week of practice, she's excited to have an undefeated NC State here today. And Coach Moore from NC State told me that it's always been tough in any sport to come and play Wake Forest, but they think if they can handle Gina Conti, that they're going to have success tonight. Thank you. Back to you guys.
Great stuff, Haley Brooke. Hanging in there with the band overpowering her down on the floor. You see Wes Moore, another winning season in his destiny. The Pack 20-0 in the red jerseys tonight, and they got to feel like they're at home with the amount of red in the crowd here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Can the Deeks get off to a good start? Coming off a 10-point win in Charlottesville this past Sunday that snapped their 6-game losing skid. Gina Conti, second in the ACC in assists. Say that 10 times fast. She takes the first shot, she gets to the line. 22 seconds gone.
Interesting as you watch this North Carolina State basketball team, they're only down to like 10 players, 11 players, so they don't have the depth. Wake Forest is kind of used to that over the last 4 or 5 basketball games. So it'll be interesting as we watch this game how it's going to be called, how physical it can be. A player to keep your eye on this afternoon, Evan, is going to be Anna Udo. The reason I say that is because she can match some of the size and length that NC State has, especially with Erica Cassell. And so if she can play a solid basketball game, it helps Wake Forest even more. 1-2-2 trap after the basket.
Pack break it with ease, and the bucket for Cassell, 2-1 Wolfpack.
One of the things that NC State does really well is they make that second pass, and you saw Cassell continue to move after the basket. Boom, gets in there and gets a layup.
Here's Udo inside going to work. Rebound trickles out of bounds off the hand of D.D. Rogers. Wake Forest basketball, of course. D.D. Rogers, the daughter of Wake Forest all-time great Rodney Rogers, playing in the building with her dad's banner hanging in the rafters. Has to be a pretty cool feeling.
Man, what a wonderful guy. Rodney, how you doing, bud? It's good to talk to you, my man. Rodney Rogers, the bull, the original Durham bull. Hillside High.
Aislinn Koenig knocks down the 3.
Well, she missed a 3 opportunity a couple of days ago, and she's back on another streak, and one of the outstanding shooters in the country is Ace Koenig. Spots up, knocks down a 3, and NC State off to a very good start.
Wake Forest able to answer. Ratsa brings the Deeks within 1. It's a good sign. Ratsa knocking down that early triple. Wake has really struggled shooting the ball from beyond the arc. They're below 25% in ACC play. Wide open up top, Leslie got it.
You can't leave her open. You can't give her great looks. She's too quick, she's got size, and she's got the depth perception deep.
Wolfpack have started 3 for 3 from the field.
Leslie and Koning off to a good start together. They've made over 141 threes this season.
Dixon tracks down her own miss. Ratza thought about another.
Evan, if Wake Forest can get second chance opportunities, they have to convert on those offensive.
Unable to convert this time. Reagan Branch picks up her first personal.
Like to see that little high ball screen. Wake has had a lot of success spreading the floor and using their bigs to go high-low or either pick and roll off the wing. Reagan not able to get that basket, but I'm glad to see her be aggressive right there.
Koenig airmails that one. Gotta say, it's been impressive to watch NC State carve up this Wake Forest defense through the first few minutes.
Well, see, they start inside out, kicking. Westmore's done a great job in just getting his players to understand the concepts of what they need, and you saw Koenig had a wide open jumper, not able to knock it down.
Westmore at 690 wins in his long and very successful career. And Dixon was on the sideline when she made the catch.
And it's almost a broken record, at least when we're together, but the unforced turnover, the turnovers, you cannot have them, especially against a team like North Carolina State. They value the ball, they make you pay when they get a chance to score.
Leslie, jab step at Connie. Kiera averaging about 15 points a game. Koenig, extra pass. D.D. Rogers draws the second foul on Reagan Branch.
Kevin, did you notice the spacing that North Carolina State has? They attack you with like a 4 out, 1 in sometime, or all players outside the perimeter, and they move the ball so well. Rogers, 6'1", 6'2", can put the ball on the floor, caught it on the wing, and is able to take it right to the hole. Reagan, too slow getting over there, picks up her second foul early in this game.
There's the banner, great number 54. It's been fun this year for his name to come up in conversations related to Duke Zion Williamson, because I think totally fair, Zion, you can compare him athletically to what Rodney was in his heyday.
A lot of people have forgotten about how good Rodney Rogers really was. And so it's good to get his name out there. But Rodney Rogers was a special player. I'm a little biased. I know Rodney very well, so you're going to have to be really good to beat Rodney in my mind. Zion's pretty good.
You know,
I'll take Rodney.
You know he's a good guy if he's tolerated you in his life for this long.
Hey, I tolerated him too.
Step through, shot won't fall for Ratza.
Great family in Durham. Talk about this NC State basketball team, an outstanding rebounding team. Wake has done a great job this year rebounding as well in the ACC. So again, missed shots, you have to be able to get the ball. If you get an offensive rebound, be able to convert.
Maya Banks the rebound. She checked in for Branch, who picked up 2 quick fouls. Ratza comes off the screen, takes it to the basket, banks it home.
She is playing with so much confidence right now. She understands she's got to take on a scoring leadership role, and she's certainly done that. That was a nice move from the top.
It has been interesting, Stan, to watch Ratza's role evolve as she's had to do more because of Wake's injury situation. Udo misses, or grabs the rebound off the Crutchfield miss.
3 double-doubles for Ratza. Like we said, has led the team in scoring the last 3 basketball games. And you know what's so funny about it? Until right now, you kind of overlooked her a little bit because we talked so much about Penna and Alex Sharp. There's a nice little head and shoulder move, dribbles there, help comes a little late and kisses it off the glass. She's got a lot of versatility, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that out of Wake Forest in her this year. She can play the 2, she can play the 3, she can post up if need be.
Christina Mora checks in for Wake. Anna Udo gets a breather. Gina Connie, the sophomore from Grove City, Ohio, at the line. He's 2 of 4 from the stripe so far in the quarter.
Backcourt trap again. Try to make them use some clock. Get the ball in someone's hands not accustomed to handling.
Well, this is a team that has been depleted in the guard corps. It's amazing they're 20-0 when you consider the adversity that they have encountered. Losing Kayla Ely before the season, losing Grace Hunter earlier this month against Duke. And yet they sit at 20-0 atop the ACC, the only undefeated team in college basketball. Alone in first place in the ACC after North Carolina shocked Notre Dame this past Sunday. Who do the Wolfpack have next? Sylvia Hatchell's Tar Heels. Leslie blocked from behind, but Dixon fouled her as well. And we'll get ourselves a timeout. Free throws for the Pack when we return. Pretty exciting start, three-point game at the Joel. Ratza on one end, Leslie on the other. Just underway in Winston-Salem. Seventh-ranked NC State with a 10-7 lead midway through the first quarter of play here at the Joel Coliseum. 4 different members of the Pack have scored, including Kiera Leslie, who's about to go to the line. And of course, Kiera's older brother CJ was a heck of a player in this conference. Scored over 1,300 points in 99 career games for the Pack earlier this decade. What do you remember most about CJ Leslie?
Outstanding athlete, had the length, could make some big-time plays when need be for the Wolfpack.
And he was clutch. Look at the comparison. With a strong finish to the season, Kiera could surpass CJ's career points per game. Certainly a subplot to watch as we come down the stretch. Trying to help her cause, not doing so as she misses the free throw. Kiera scored her 1,000th point in the Wolfpack's last game against Georgia Tech. Of course, she scored 264 points in 2 years at Maryland and over 700 and some odd points in her 2 years so far in Raleigh.
Pace of the game, tempo so far. Wake Forest is doing a nice job after that first easy basket. Handling the ball, can't make mistakes, or out-rebounding NC State so far.
Ball loose on the floor, collected by Koenig.
Those are the plays Evan has continued to get the Demon Deacons in trouble. Driving in too deep, trying to make a pass too close. Defender gets it, and off they go.
Those are the plays that get on your nerves.
They do. They do. Turnovers.
And it's not because you're rooting for Wake, it's because you like good basketball.
Well, turnovers, unforced turnovers, you shouldn't make a lot of them. You know, you understand defenders are going to get in passing lanes. You understand those things, but sometimes you can be very careless. You got to value the basketball. The ball's the most important thing. You have to value it.
Jen Hoover picked up her 98th career win this past Sunday in Charlottesville, a place where she used to coach under great Cavalier leader Debbie Ryan. Koenig step back. Rebound Mora.
Another young lady that's really stepped up the last couple of games is Mora. Had a nice solid basketball game in 22 minutes against Virginia on Sunday in their win, and she's going to continue to get some minutes.
Connie looking to create, turns it over. Koenig in a foot race to the basket.
You have to step to meet the pass. That's partly a bad pass, and that's partly also the receivers got to help you as well.
Koenig's got 5 points in the first 7 minutes. Ratza, too strong and out of bounds to NC State.
I mean, watch this. You get in the passing lane. See, right there. You step to make the pass. It stayed too far in the air. Koenig read that easily, gets the steal, and gets the easy basket. Step to meet the pass. Step to make the pass. Koenig with her 13th steal in the season.
Ace Koenig playing her 75th game as a member of the Pack tonight. The junior from British Columbia, Canada. Rebound for Dixon.
So many young players on the floor, especially for Wake Forest. You look at this team, everybody out there is either a freshman or a sophomore.
The veterans on both these teams have dealt with injuries.
Yes, exactly.
And for Wake Forest, not only have they lost Alex Sharp and Eliza Penna, but obviously Ariel Stevenson out for the year. That's 3 of Wake's top 4 scorers from last year that they expected to have back. all gone right now. Dee Rogers, strong move to the rim, and Jen Hoover has seen enough. Lead has swelled to 8.
Long rebound, and you should never be beaten in transition. Here's the pass play. One thing that Dee can do a little better than her dad, she runs the floor a little bit better. Rodney would have flushed at Dee with the nice layup. It's still all in the family. Give her 2.
It's almost like you're trying to pick a fight with Rodney tonight.
Now, that's my guy. That's my buddy.
Dee Rogers, what a career she's had. 114 games, including today. I was chatting with Wes Moore about the dynamic with this NC State team. There are a number of players that, if you've covered the Wolfpack last couple of years, players that were on the team but did not get a lot of minutes. And now they're players that are pivotal pieces to the only perfect start in the country.
Well, that's a sign of players that are coachable and understanding their role. And that's similar to what's going to happen in the future with Wake Forest, I think, because of all the number of injuries and the young players. You know, you're not asked to do something now, but you've got to grow into it and get a better player. But Dee Rogers is one of those players where she never was a big scorer. She averages about 7 now, but she hovered around 3, 4, 5 points a ball game. But she's making a great contribution in her senior year.
Christina Mora too strong. Banks was hooked on the rebound action. 1:57 of play here in the opening quarter. They got Rogers for the foul. Wake Forest trying to snap a nearly 3.5-minute scoring drought. Connie struggling to find somebody, and now Wake Forest has just 2 timeouts remaining for the rest of the game.
You know, again, a young team, you've got to learn and you've got to understand it. The concept, you know, you talked about what you don't like the turnovers. You understand the concept of time and score. And that's a mistake that in a close ball game can come back to haunt you. As you mentioned, you have 2 timeouts remaining. Sheehan had to call the timeout a few moments ago to stop the NC State run. That's a turnover. That's a turnover in my mind. But what happens if you don't get the ball in bounds on this possession?
You shake your head.
Yeah, it becomes very frustrating. And again, that's lack of movement right now offensively.
Wake Forest Hall of Famer Jennifer Mitchell married John Hoover and has been Jen Hoover ever since. There's a nice shot inside. Ratza for 2.
Needed basket, timely basket, but someone else has got to score the ball for Wake Forest.
Ratza's the only one with a field goal so far. She's 3 for 5. The rest of the team is 0 for 5.
Little matchup out of this. This is a bad matchup here.
Koenig step back. Pretty good defense from Banks.
Excellent defense. Because it'll appear like they're in a little bit of a matchup zone, but she's being very high, and she decides to just stay with Koenig, and she's able to use that 6'4" frame and those long arms. May have gotten a piece of the ball, but the clock went down anyway. But that's a great defensive play by Maya Banks not to foul on the long-range shot.
Connie lets it fly. Udo tracks down the offensive board and then throws it into the backcourt. Kai Crutchfield wins the hustle battle again.
They make you pay. Crutchfield with the speed. The youngster from Millbrook High School in Raleigh gets the loose ball. It's able to convert.
And Wake Forest has led for 10 seconds in this first half. They took a 1-0 lead, remember, before the Wolfpack went in front 2-1. NC State, as Ratza puts it in, the Wolfpack have only trailed for about 32.5 minutes in about 295 minutes of ACC action so far this year.
Front runners. Get the lead, keep the lead. Knock it down.
Koenig buries it.
Great ball movement again. If you've not seen this NC State basketball team, you're in for a treat. They move the ball well. Shooters are ready to shoot the basketball. Rebounders do a good job either putting it back in or kicking it out. And that was great half-court execution by NC State.
They execute in the half court. They force you to work at the other end. They don't foul you very often. Fly into the basket. Hana unable to convert. That was a rare field goal attempt for Ellen Hana. but it will not succeed. 20-11, NC State outworking, outplaying the Deacs through the first 10 minutes in Winston-Salem tonight.
Welcome back. The NC State Wolfpack has had some bad luck this year against the Demon Deacons. First off, the #1 ranked Wake Forest men's soccer team beat the #8 ranked NC State 3-0. Then the unranked Demon Deacon football team toppled the #14 Wolfpack 27-23. Then more recently, the unranked men's basketball team were victorious against the #17 Wolfpack. And finally, Wake Forest women's soccer team came on top of the NC State Wolfpack 2-0 in the fall. Let's see what the women's basketball team has for us tonight. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Haley Brooke. Yeah, the Wolfpack fans are getting a little bit of a complex about facing Wake Forest. I saw some snide comments on Twitter where the NC State 2019 football schedule came out, and one sarcastic fan said, okay, the Clemson game and the Wake game are automatic losses, but they could probably go 10-2.
At least they know, right? It is unique. That was a catalyst win for Wake Forest, knocking off NC State. They were highly ranked at the time in early November, and then again, you and I both took witness to the game a couple weeks ago, a big Wake Forest men's win.
NC State doing pretty well. They got a new athletic director, Boo Corrigan, coming from West Point. You want a tough athletic director, get the guy from West Point.
He's going to do a great job. Understands the ACC very well. Miss Debbie Yao, but Boo Corrigan's going to do a nice job. Inside, outside again.
I'd say Debbie Yao has done a pretty good job in her decade at the helm. Look at all the different NC State programs. You know, football under Dave Doran, men's basketball under Kevin Keats. Hired a former Wake Forest assistant to run their women's soccer team, and he took them to the NCAA tournament. On the spin, shot won't fall. Hey, by the way, the very end of the first quarter, Stan, we saw Ellen Hanna, the freshman from Sweden, drive and miss the shot. In her last 11 games, she had played 116 minutes without scoring, and she had only taken one field goal attempt in her last 116 minutes. That's how rare that field goal attempt was for the freshman Hanna.
So we need to get her some more shots, is what you're saying.
I'm saying I couldn't believe looking at the game by game, because like she's played 15, 20 minutes a bunch of games, and clearly that they like having her out there. It's almost hard to fathom how little she shot the ball.
Kunang and Dixon, and they'll battle for the next couple of seasons, we hope. Really got tied up. It's a definite mismatch. NC State a little slow recognizing that, and ended up NC State forcing the foul. But watch the battle inside. And I'm still saying that, you know, we haven't called Anna's name. We got to get her more involved defensively. Well, we call it now.
Elisa Kunane gets her first field goal attempt, and she gets fouled in the process. How good has Kunane been? Two-time ACC Rookie of the Week, averaging 12 points, 5 rebounds in just 20 minutes a game.
Yeah, very good, very athletic at 6'5". Was an all-state performer in Northern Guilford right down the road. She already had 12 games where she scored double figures. But what you like about her is she has a lot of poise. I mean, she's got some game. She can step out and take the mid-range jumper. She can put the ball in the low post and score on you. And she's going to get better and better and better. And guess what? Better some more. And shoots 62% from the field, which leads the ACC. I think.
73% from the line. Knocks down a pair there.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that from a freshman. You can't beat that from a senior. And what's happening now, very slowly, very surely, they're extending the lead. Wake's got to score.
Hanna, no longer bashful. She's taken more field goals today than she's taken her last 11 games combined. Again, early in the season, she scored a little bit. 14 points in her first 3 games, just 1 point in the 17 games since. mostly because she hasn't looked for her shot at all. Wolfpack by 10 with the ball. 90 seconds gone here in the second quarter. The two 11s head-to-head. Ratza and Leslie. Now Udo has Leslie on a switch. Leslie explodes past her. Cunnane on the offensive glass draws another foul. Nice to be 6'5", isn't it?
And nice to have good hands in the post as well. Leslie never gave the basketball up, so she drives. Watch this. Got to get over there and help. Nice job at the end by Maya. But then there's the battle. You see 4 white shirts in the paint, but 1 red shirt's able to come out and get it. And she gets the chance to score, and she goes to the free throw line and knocks it down.
Foul was called on Banks. It was her second. Hey, Stan, can you tell me what it's like to be 6'5"? Because I wouldn't know.
I can tell you.
What's it like?
Actually, I'm 6'6", but it's good sometimes. It depends on where you are now. Most places it's really good.
Yeah.
Some tight spots like a plane, you know,
Fair.
it's hard, but you know, hey, it's a blessing. Take it what you. You're not. I thought you were.
I'm 6'5" in the metric system.
Udo with a basket. Told you she was gonna score.
Udo double figures 9 times this year, but single digits in 7 of her last 8 games. Wake would love to get her going.
She has really struggled offensively the last 8 or 9 basketball games, and certainly with Penna out of the game, she's gonna have to step up, figure out a way to score the basketball inside.
Tani gives it for Ratza. And
Quick.
Cunnane. How about this? And, well, that's why Coach wanted her to give it to a guard.
Good job by Conti there. Didn't foul, just kind of got in her path. Made her pick it up a little sooner than she wanted to.
I'm
Gets
not
to travel.
certain she dragged that pivot foot.
I think she picked him up. Let's take a look. Well, we're going inside to Anna. Watch this. Shows the basketball and the quick release. So many times she's caught the basketball and she's not made the quick move to the basket, or she's tried to kick it out. That time, very aggressive. She gets the score. Let's look for that more this evening rather.
And when she's been decisive, she can look really smooth in there.
Yeah, well, she can score. I mean, she's had like 9 games in doubles, and she's had some double-doubles, but she's just not been scoring the basketball.
Tani met by Cunnane well, and the jump ball will keep it with Wake, but there's just 2 remaining on the shot clock.
Great help side defense. Dribbles right in there, kept your hands up. And one of the things that I really like about Conti, she's tough. She goes in there, gets the shot blocked, but tries to get it back, and she says, okay, you know, I'm 5'9", 5'10", you're 6'5", I'm gonna battle you for the rebound.
And add that play to the kind of officiating 101, defense 101 film, but how to just stand still and be straight up.
Exactly.
Charlene Curtis is watching. Add that one to the reel.
Oh, nice.
Wake unable to convert.
That little lob in there to Anna. NC State still standing around. They've got to convert. They've got to get some defensive stops.
Inside, Cunnane rejected. Kept alive by Jarasinski.
Nice block.
Lindsay Jarasinski played limited minutes, but she's had a few moments. Here's Hannah.
And she can show some ability, Lindsay, in the low block with that little jump hook.
Udo tried to sneak the pass through. It was deflected. 10 to shoot.
Watch Lindsay come from the weak side. Another one of the young players, a 6'3" freshman, holds her position, gets all basketball, is able to keep the ball in play. Nice, solid play. 10 on the clock.
Ratza off the iron, and the rebound finds NC State.
State's got to find a way in their transition to go ahead and keep attacking in Wake Forest. Don't pull it back on them. Make them pressure and score inside.
More great defense from Jarasinski. Arrow belongs to the pack this time. That's 2 blocks and a couple trips for the freshman from Illinois.
She had 4 blocks on the season. Again, great inside position there. Waits for the ball to be released. Gets all basketball once again. 2 good blocks. She liked it.
Wolfpack have 8 seconds. And trying to find Cunane. Jarasinski, nice job denying the ball. Late in the shot clock, Cunane gets it off, grazed the iron. And the loose ball finally held on to by Udo. Connie to the basket. Offensive foul is the call.
I think she led with that off arm just a little bit, Evan. Let's take a look at this again. Watch right there. Just a little bit of push. I probably didn't call that. But the officials got a better look, and it's an offensive foul and another missed opportunity for Wake Forest.
First foul on Connie. Banks, Dixon, and Branch, all with 2 personals right now for Jen Hoover's team. NC State has only fouled 4 times in the game, continuing their trend of fouling as little as almost anybody in the nation. They fouled the 3rd least nationally, about 12 times a game.
Nice job defensively again at the top. They have given Leslie a little too much space initially, but she came up just a bit short. But trying to play without foul and understanding and respecting the ability for Leslie to be able to take it from the top and put it on the floor and score.
Midway through the second quarter, Wolfpack won the first quarter 20-11. Only 7 total points have been scored so far in quarter number 2. Second foul was just called on Dee Dee Rogers, and with 4:55 to go in the half, Wake Forest will trigger the inbound from the baseline. No, we're going to go to immediate timeout. The officials were a little frazzled there, but the signal for the timeout will take it 2 in a 10-point game.
Wake Forest having some solid offense by one player, that being Ivana Roxa, the sophomore, scoring from the long range. She's led this team in scoring the last 3 basketball games because of grit, determination, catching the ball and being able to finish. Put the ball on the floor, a little head and shoulder fake there, and knocks it down. Got to get more baskets out of Roxa, got to get some help from her teammates, but so far, Ivana's leading the way.
If only she had some help.
Yeah.
Rest of the Deeks, 1 of 11 from the field.
She's going to have to. Again, you got to commend her. She has stepped up the last few basketball games with the injury bug bodying Wake Forest. But she's going to need some help as we go through the season. But she's got to continue to play with a lot of confidence and determination. I like the way she started this basketball game.
Udo's the only Deacon aside from Ratsu who has a bucket. Connie and Udo both missing pretty good looks.
5 of 21 Wake Forest shooting so far in this basketball game. NC State 7 of 20.
On the drive, scoop up and in, Kiera Leslie.
And remember a moment ago we were talking about her being on the high post or on the wing and having the spurt ability, as they would say, to score. You saw at that time. You've got to defend her, especially on that left side.
Sensational spurt ability.
Quickness, too.
6 points now for Leslie. Scored in double figures each of her last 6 games, 11 of the last 12. Hannah, again, not really looking for her shot. Down to 3, foot on the line 2. Connie doesn't get the bounce.
Nice look.
Oh, Connie, great anticipation, stole the ball, but then saved it behind her back to the pack. 3 won't go for Crutchfield. Rebound off Rotz's hands. Back to NC State.
You won't give NC State 3 opportunities. You stop them, you don't stop them. Had a good look there by Crutchfield. Let's see if they go inside, outside. Cunning or Leslie.
It's Cassell. Arrow this time belongs to Wake Forest, and Jarasinski active with her hands on the ball again.
I like the way she's come in here. 2 block shots. She took that rebound with some force, and give me that. That's what you've got to do, especially when you're an undermanned basketball team as far as numbers go. Everybody's got to play a little harder, a little nastier.
Tuesday night here at the Joel Coliseum, the Pitt Panthers will be in town. New coach Jeff Capel and their dynamic young backcourt, Xavier Johnson and Trey McGowens. Leslie picks up the foul, her first. One of the reasons the Wolfpack have continued to survive is because they have fouled so infrequently. Leslie's fouled out of a couple games. She's the only member of the pack to get to 5 fouls all season.
Well, they play smart, aggressive defense. They keep the player in front of them. You don't reach very often. You don't see them off balance. Leslie was trying to fight over the screen that time.
You know what stands out when you watch NC State? They play with a collective focus
Exactly.
that I think emanates from their head coach.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, there's not a lot of messing around. Everybody, look right now, everybody's in defensive stance. There's good communication, hands in passing lanes. They give you enough space, but yet they can guard you.
Difficult entry pass. Hana to the elbow, takes it. Rebound Leslie.
See, that ball goes in the paint, and Anna's not thinking offense. She never looked at the basket. She never squared up.
Leslie's drive was short, may have been deflected, but right there, Kayla Jones to lay it in.
And Kayla Jones comes in and gives them a spurt, averages about 5 rebounds a ball game, but it's very solid within 10 feet, can make some solid plays.
Before that Jones make, each team was 1 for 10 from the field in this quarter. Deke still 1 of 10, Pack 2 of 11. 8-3, all the scoring in this second quarter.
See, you've got to be looking for movement and shots right now.
Connie
There
steps
you
into
go.
it, splashes it in.
She's got the space, and what she's got to continue to understand is how far can you go to get spacing to get the shot. And most of the time, if you watch her play, she can get her foot in the black, and that's going to be far enough. You're not going to get a lot of layups with your size against the size you're going against defensively.
Snapped a drought of more than 5 minutes for Wake Forest offensively.
You got to stop right here, and you're back in this basketball game.
Koenig step back.
You got
Foul on Leslie, that's her second. And there's the Wake Forest stop.
Again, this is a very thin bench for North Carolina State. So if you're Wake Forest and you've got a thin one yourself, you try to get into theirs if you can.
So Ellen Hana, who had been so inactive offensively before today, 1 field goal attempt in her last 11 games played. She's taken 3 shots so far, still looking for her first point since Wake Forest's victory over Charlotte on December 5th. Hana's in the book. By the way, they've gone to the half in Louisville tonight. Pretty good game. The Cardinals, number 3 in the nation, hosting number 2 UConn. At the half, it's Louisville 40, UConn 38. Asia Durr, 14 points in the first half.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen you. Remember we were talking about that Florida State game and you were doubting me? What did I tell you about that? What did I tell you? You don't remember. You do remember. I told you they beat, that Louisville would win by more than 7. You said 7. I tell you, they'd be winning about 18 and 19.
Yeah, they won big.
I told you that. I told you that a week beforehand.
You said it was going to be competitive.
No, I didn't. I did not. I didn't. I said 7. I said 7 or more. In Tallahassee, you said yes. And I said they'll beat them by 7 or more, and they did. So just say, Stan, you were right. That's all you got to do.
Well, you were right. And Louisville's not the only team who beat Florida State.
Yeah, but we weren't talking about that. We were just talking about the one game.
I was going to let you give the Clemson Tigers a little love.
Oh, Clemson's playing really well.
Pretty incredible what
They
Amanda
scared
Butler's
the
done.
bejeebies out of North Carolina State last week.
The what?
The bejeebies.
Under a minute to go here in the first half.
You got a young one. You know baby talk. They scared them. Count it.
Graz's 3 doesn't get the roll.
Don't give up a big explosion play right now if you're Wake Forest. And if you're NC State, be very patient, be very smart.
That's not patient. And it pays off for Wake. About an 11-second differential between the game and shot clock here.
Remember where you had success some more. There you go. Bam.
What was the bam for?
The bam was when the ball hit the other side of it.
Wake.
But that shot's going to be available for Gina a lot this year because she's very good on penetration.
She's got to hit that shot.
She's got, exactly.
She's 1 of 7 from the field in the half. Koenig goes to work, step back, bang.
There you go.
10 points in the half for Koenig. Ratza, good if it goes. Wake Forest, 2 of 14 from the field in the second quarter. Outscored 10-6 in the second 10 minutes. And midway through our proceedings tonight, the 7th-ranked NC State Wolfpack with a 13-point lead. It's halftime tonight at the Joel Coliseum. 30-17, NC State leads Wake Forest. Coming your way in August of 2019, you must have heard already. The ACC Network. Go to getaccn.com. 15 great universities all on one network. A new place to call home. And odds are you've heard this promo before, but it's still exciting. The ACC Network on the way. August 22nd. Jeff Collins versus Dabo Sweeney. On August 29th, the first football game. There will be literally thousands of events on the ACC Network. Looking forward to that. Every Thursday night is a busy night in women's basketball, and tonight obviously is no different. You got the non-league matchup between UConn and Louisville. The difference is 2 at the half. Syracuse up 5 on UVA. BC with a 5-point lead on Duke. Virginia Tech all over Pittsburgh. Clemson realizing what facing a top 5 team is like. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish up a dozen at the half. Miami and Florida State, low-scoring game. The Tucker Center in Tallahassee. North Carolina trying to build off their big win over Notre Dame on Sunday, leading by 11 over Georgia Tech.
And you know Notre Dame's in a bad mood after their loss to North Carolina this week.
Yeah, Muffet McGraw is not a particularly patient head coach.
Nope, not at all.
There's the standings. 3 teams with 1 loss behind the Wolfpack. It'd be reasonable to say, Stan, we'll make this point quick, NC State halfway to 8-0 in the ACC. It's possible that they've played their easiest 8 games first on the schedule, and their next 8 games will be their toughest.
So they've got Heels, they've got Florida State, Syracuse. The Notre Dame game is the Play for K game, I believe, and then another game with Wake Forest.
And
so
Louisville.
yeah, the back end of this, and Louisville, that's right. The back end of the schedule for NC State is going to be a little different.
They got 4 ranked opponents in February for their 7 games on the road as well. Trying to get a road win tonight, leading by 13 at the half. "20 minutes of basketball in the books tonight. 7th-ranked NC State leading 30-17 over the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Wolfpack trying to stay perfect and head into the month of February with a 21-0 record. Hey everybody, Evan Lepler with Stan Luter. Thanks for joining us tonight. Wake Forest with only 6 field goals in that first half. They had 4 field goals in their ugly first half against North Carolina. How do the Deacs get things going offensively?
They've got to score the basketball, and we're going to see about – no, when I say score the basketball, I mean you got to have some people who are going to move and score and be willing to take some shots and knock them in. We're going to see most of those baskets in a minute in the highlight package with Ratza. I'll tell you what, too, honestly, you got to play some better defense. You got to get some easy layups, steal, score. They've done a really good job on the boards. I think they're a +2 on the glass right now against a very good rebounding team in North Carolina State, but they've got to find a way to get some easy baskets, score the ball that way, and then defend a lot better, I think.
You know, it's been a different player every night for NC State.
Yeah.
And tonight, Aislinn Koenig set the tone.
Yeah, I like Koenig. She's got a lot of variety in her basketball game, and she can score. And you just take a look. You know, that's a wide-open jump shot. You can't give her that. And then on defense, remember she had to steal on the easy pass. There's the inside-outside. She's spotting up, and she's a number 2 3-point shooter in the ACC, and there's a reason why, because she's got great release point, she's got good footwork. And then again, someone that's really scoring the ball well too is Miss Rodson. Now, I told you, we only got 6 baskets, and you're going to see most of them by her. She's got to get some help around the basketball, being active there, a little dribble handoff action, the head and shoulder. She's working very, very hard to score. She's going to have to put some more points up on the board if Wake Forest expects to come away with the W.
Koenig 4 for 8 from the field, 10 points. Ratza 4 for 9, 9 points. The difference, Koenig's teammates are 6 of 22. Ratza's teammates are 2 for 19.
One thing to keep in mind, too, when you look at the numbers for Ratza, she's played 20 minutes in this basketball game. She's one of the top 5 people in the ACC as far as minutes played. You wonder if she'll wear down because she's really working hard to score now.
Certainly NC State not shooting the lights out, but they've got a 13-point lead at intermission here tonight. Wolfpack will head back home to take on North Carolina to start the month of February, a very daunting month. Games against Florida State and Syracuse on the road, then Notre Dame and Wake at home, then road trips to UNC and Louisville. But Wes Moore's team has been impervious to all challenges. They've had adversity, they've had heartbreak, they keep on winning. See if they can keep it rolling in the second half tonight. 30-17, Wolfpack lead the Deacs. Second half coming up. Another chapter between this long-time rivalry, the 85th meeting between NC State and Wake Forest. Wolfpack have dominated historically, 70-14 all-time against Wake. Jen Hoover has 1 win against NC State. That was 2 years ago when Elisa Penna had probably the best game of her career. Remember that? She hit 9 threes, tied a Wake Forest program record, scored 34 points. Only time Wes Moore has lost to Jen Hoover. He's 8-2 against Wake Forest in his career.
And here's wishing Miss Penna saw yesterday where she'll be out for a little while longer with that knee, and just hopefully that everything's going to get right with her, because having Penna, Stevenson on the floor, we know when she was well, Alex on the court, wow, that makes this team so much better. But I tell you, the good thing about the guys being down is that these young players are having to get out there and play, so it could pay dividends for Wake Forest in the future, if not this season.
You take 3 of, say, the top 5 players off any team, and it's going to change them dramatically. Yeah. That's what makes what NC State has done so mind-bogglingly impressive.
But there's one difference. That's a nice little pick and roll there. But there's one difference a little bit with these players, is that at NC State, is that they are veterans. Crutchfield's a sophomore, Rogers is a senior, Leslie's a grad student, you know, Koning's a junior, Castle's a junior. So they've got a little more experience, and they can kind of handle this maybe a little bit better than what the Wake players who are very young are yet to understand.
I think that's a really good point. As we look at Udo's second field goal of the night.
See, Dick goes in just a little step too far, but she's able to find space and make a nice little bounce pocket pass inside. And Anna, that time, being aggressive, catches, faces, been scored. And I'm telling you, she can be a lethal weapon in the mid-post.
Didn't take Reagan Branch long to pick up her 3rd foul. She's got 3 fouls in 4 minutes in the game, and she's back on the bench.
If there's any player that you pull for, is Reagan, because she just is yet to be able to find her basketball rhythm. You know, missed a lot of this season early with the knee injury, missed her initial freshman year with the Achilles, and just goes in and just can't quite get in the offensive rhythm. What do you say, 3 fouls in 4 minutes?
That's correct.
Yeah. But she's got great talent, plays hard, and it's going to come.
Ratza on the attack, dragged the pivot foot and traveled.
You were asking a moment ago about something that they needed to do, and that's to score the basketball. And one of the ways you do that is you move. And one of the problems Wake has a lot of times in those turnovers is that everybody kind of becomes stagnant to a screen, and you'll stand there. You don't move to get open.
Rogers back to Leslie. I got a foul on NC State inside.
Yes, on Castle, I think.
Erica Cassell picks up.
Pushes inside.
That is her first foul. Dixon contemplated the three.
Good movement now. There you go. See, there's a little movement. They took away that pass, and then you look for a back cut. Plenty of time. Face up. Face up. Then you got to drive. Got to drive and kick.
Dixon shoots it.
Bam.
Scores. All of a sudden, it's a 9-point game.
Well, the penetration there with the shot clock. Most of the time we say drive the basketball. They anticipated the drive. They stopped it. A good pass by Conti Dixon. Spots up, ready to shoot the ball. Bam, knocks it down.
Dixon's got 4 points. Tied with 2 other Deeks as the Wake Forest second leading scorer behind Ratza. Shot clock at 4. And they got a foul on Wake.
Evan, watch this. There's a penetration by Conti. She stopped, and you saw her just kind of relocate, get ready to shoot the ball. It's a nice look that time by the freshman Dixon. That's a good basket.
Kaylin Dixon making her 7th consecutive start tonight. First started in place of Alex Sharp against Boston College when Sharp went down with a hand injury. They said 4 to 6 weeks for Sharp, and that was
She got the
3.5
cast off.
weeks
I
ago.
saw her before the ball game, and so the cast was off, and I saw her earlier. She got a little brace on, and she feels like maybe she can get inside and start playing soon. You can see, again, the size advantage. You go inside strong with Casal, get the matchup there that you like, and just attack, 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 attack.
Ratza picks up her 2nd personal. NC State for the season has made more free throws than their opponents have attempted. That's kind of the dream territory
Oh, you
for
love
a coach.
that. You love that. That's one of the first things I look at when I'm starting to get ready for a game and look at stats is the number of assists to turnovers and also how many times you're able to get to the free throw line. Because that means you're punishing the team and you're getting some really good looks. That's a nice look.
Connie the dish, unable to convert inside bank. She got it back and was tied up, and it'll be Wake Forest ball.
See, when you look at this Wake Forest team, Evan, they can match NC State size for size.
Sure.
You're going to get some opportunities either at the point, at the top, or either in the mid area. You've got to be able to score them. If you're NC State, you've got to defend it and defend without fouling. Face up, take your time.
Late in the shot clock, it's been either Ratza or Connie. Trying to get it to Banks, to no avail.
See, everybody kind of stands in the middle and they don't give. What you don't do also, in addition to standing, you don't give yourself a passing angle. So the defender, one defender is a technical.
Jen Hoover just picked up a technical foul. Displeased by the lack of a call in the last possession.
Well, you're fighting for the call. You're fighting to get your team emotionally charged as well.
Leslie at the line. A long rebound for official Bruce Morris to track down.
Sorry. Give him something to do. Make a note of that, the 6:33 mark, and you're down 10 Wake Forest, and there's a technical. They convert on one of those, and then what do you do on the possession?
Little full court pressure here. Wake Forest extending. Wolfpack with Koenig, Crutchfield, Rogers, Leslie, and Cassell. Wolfpack beat Georgia Tech this past Sunday. They won that game by 8. What was impressive about it is they won all 4 quarters. Won 2 quarters by 3 and 2 quarters by 1. Leslie on the attack.
Weaves your way inside, inside out. You've got to stop her. You've got to stop her. She finds a way to score.
9 points for Kiera Leslie so far tonight.
So what was a 4-point trip? 3-point.
3-point trip.
So
they got 3 out of 4.
Yeah, she missed a free throw. And so now you've got to be poised right now and answer that.
Ratza forced to fire. A fling as much of a shot. And the arrow this time belongs to the Pack. Got a lot of tie-ups tonight.
There's another empty possession.
Kaylin Dixon back in, replacing Hannah.
And this is a tough team to press because Leslie's so good in the open court. Ace Coney's so good in the open court, and if you leave her open after a ball reversal, she can knock down threes all afternoon long. And there you go.
Beautiful stuff off the dribble from Leslie.
Yeah.
She's in double figures for the 18th time this year, including 7 consecutive games.
Got to get in front of her. You got to find a way to make her give the basketball up or pull up for the mid-range jump shot. You're not going to defend her when she gets ahead of steam going downhill.
Banks from the foul line puts it in.
If there's a player that I think has really improved on this basketball team over the last 7 or 8 games, it's certainly Maya Banks. Doesn't score a lot of points, but she's playing with a lot more confidence. She's running fluid now, injury-free, and becoming a little bit of the scorer that we knew her from high school.
Offensive foul inside going on Cassell. 4 minutes, 35 seconds remaining in this third quarter. You get the feeling Kiera Leslie has been waiting to take over the game. Exploding off the dribble to the basket, not once but twice. Packed by 13. Each team has scored 7 points so far in the third quarter. The Wolfpack lead was 13 at the half, and it remains 13. NC State ranks 7th in the nation in the latest poll. They're 6th in the RPI as we look at their tournament resume, currently projected as a 2 seed. I would debate the assertion that they have 0 quality wins, but certainly they have an opportunity to get some more quality wins in the month of February with games against Notre Dame and Louisville and North Carolina and Florida State and Syracuse. Right now the ACC is looking good in the NCAA tournament projections. Notre Dame and Louisville in the mix, among with 8 total ACC teams, more than any other conference in the latest edition of Charlie Cream's bracketology.
How would you like to be undefeated, the only undefeated team in the country, and you're projected right now as a number 2 seed in the bracket? That's kind of crazy, but that also shows the strength of the 4 teams ahead of them right now. After the timeout now, a little bit of spacing, flattened out the offense. There's a driving opportunity. I'm telling you, she can make a living right there about that ACC logo. She will.
It's funny. It feels like NC State's in control, and yet a couple stops and a couple buckets, and all of a sudden this is a 2-possession game in the fourth quarter. Leslie takes it, makes it, foot on the line. She's got 13 now in the game.
Quick release. You're trying to defend there. She's driving by you a couple of times, so you say, okay, I'm going to stop that. So she just pulls up and takes the jumper. Nice little give and go right there by Conti. I like that.
Connie has doubled her scoring output for the game the last 2 trips. Now has 8 points. Wake hanging tough, back within 11. Question is, can Wake stop Kiera Leslie? Leslie has done whatever she has wanted to do here in the second half. It's a bad pass there. Great hustle by Connie. Tie up Deacon Ball.
You know what? That's why I like Conti as a player. 2 drives in the paint, the smallest player on the floor right now, practically maybe she and Crutchfield. Crutchfield goes about 5'8", 5'9". Well, she'll drive in there, saw a loose ball, not afraid to dive in there, get a possession for Wake Forest, and now give yourself some momentum, Demon Deacons, if you can score on this possession.
Gina's father, Tony, was a football player at Ball State, and Gina showing that toughness. Played both basketball and volleyball in high school. Her sister played college volleyball. Shot clock down to 5. Can Wake Forest convert? Late in the clock, it's Mora inside, bringing the Deacs within 9.
Mora, not afraid, has been making a contribution in the last couple of ball games in limited time. Steps up with a key basket, I think, for Wake Forest. Well,
and there's Leslie answering nothing but net.
I love it. I love it.
And she's smooth.
And she's getting great looks, and she's not being pressured. She's in rhythm. She gets the ball exactly where she wants to in her spot, and she's knocking down. Those are true jump shots.
Leslie, the defense. Can she beat Connie? There's the foul.
Smart foul there. There's a lot of irony, I think. She reminds me a lot of Lexi Brown, transferred from Maryland. She's got the same body type, very athletic, explosive off the bounce, can stop on a dime, give you some change, knock on the jump shot, and all of a sudden she's just kind of exploded the last 3 or 4 possessions for NC State.
Very astute comparison by you. Lexi Brown, first team All-ACC at Duke last year. Daughter of former Jacksonville Dolphin Dee Brown, played in the NBA for a bunch of years. And of course, Kiera doesn't have just one brother. CJ played at NC State, but Kiera grew up with 4 brothers. And she was always keeping up with them.
I think what CJ's in Lebanon now. So somebody is what they told me the other day. So hey, inside out
to Dixon. Strong rebound inside. Crutchfield. And we're seeing right now Leslie kind of taking the game over, and players like Crutchfield and Cassell doing the little things to help NC State win.
I just mentioned Crutchfield, probably the smallest player on the floor at 5'8", only a sophomore, but she went up strong for that rebound. And she does a lot of the little unsung things on this NC State basketball team. We talk a lot about Leslie. We talk about Koenig and her ability to make the 3-point baskets. But yeah, you know, you look at Crutchfield, she's made like 16, 17 threes this season. A solid defender, doesn't turn the ball over very much. You know, can defend on the ball and off. And all those things help you become undefeated and number 7 in the country.
Wolfpack just 5 for 10 from the free throw line here in the 3rd quarter.
I like the high-low sets. Anytime Wake is in high-low, they've had some success either getting a basket or getting a good shot. Here's a little bit of a version of the side ball. So they're really putting pressure, especially Leslie now on Roxa, especially when she puts the ball on the floor. So it makes it very, very difficult for her to get in her move. Get this in.
Inside, great pass. Roxa off the glass. She's in double figures with 11.
Great recognition that time by Gina to find her on the cut and a nice catch and finish in one motion.
Connie's 2nd assist of the night. She averages 5 assists a game. Connie doing a little bit of everything right now.
Just playing the game, being very active, trying to find a way to win, spark your team. NC State now playing with little poise, a minute left in the 3rd quarter.
I got a foul. Mora and Rogers were grappling.
I like that. Mora's not going to let her get the easy reverse. Didi catches the ball away from the basket very well, can swing it, can make that little mid-range jumper, be a little physical with her, put her to the free throw line.
Stan, by the way, explain this to me from a basketball standpoint. Wake started the game 8 of 30, and now they've made 5 of their last 6.
Better half-court execution, being active, and shooters playing with some confidence, making shots, getting in the right spot. You always hear people say, get your spot, push your spot. Movement. There's just, you see heads of screen that time, so you didn't look away. Bam.
Ratza got it.
I love that little step back jumper. She takes you down, you think she's off balance, and she can get her balance so quickly. A nice shot. Back-to-back baskets by Ivana.
Demon Deacons were 6 of 26 in the first half. They're 8 of 11 in the third quarter. They've made up 3 points of the deficit. They trail by 13 at the half.
Do not help on Leslie.
Koenig looking for some daylight. Knocked out of bounds, but it's a shot clock violation.
I am so impressed with Gina's defense right now. She's been in passing lanes. She got a deflection on a little big screen. At times she kind of comes and tries to pick the pocket on the backside and gives Wake Forest an opportunity to cut this thing to 10 as we get to the end of the quarter.
Connie with 4 seconds. Connie from midcourt. And we will go into the fourth quarter. A 10-point game. The Deacons win the third, 17-14. Ivana Ratza, Wake's leading scorer with 13 points. 10 minutes to go tonight at the Joel Coliseum. Ten minutes on the clock as we head to the fourth quarter. You see the score by quarter. Wake trailing by 10 as NC State tries to get to 21-0 on the season. What a year the Pack have had as we send it down on the floor to Haley Brooke McFadden. Haley?
Thanks, Evan. The Wolfpack has had the best start in program history at 20-0 and 7-0 in the ACC. So I decided to ask Coach Moore what's different about this team. And he said, just like many teams in the ACC, they've been plagued with injury, but they've had players like Kira Leslie be able to step up into those key roles. And in a conference like the ACC, you have to bring your A game every day, no matter who you play. And it seems like they're doing just that today. Back to you guys.
In that third quarter, NC State was 4 of 5 from the floor. Got a lot of free throws. They shot 12 free throws, but they only made 6 of them. And Wake here with a chance to get within single digits for the first time since very early in the third.
Something very interesting is look at the numbers. 8 assists, only 10 turnovers. Wake Forest had 9 games this year where they've had 20 or more turnovers. Value the basketball gives you an opportunity to score.
Connie takes it,
Bam!
buries it. 7-point game.
Confidence is a wonderful thing. And Gina's got it right now. Finds her spot, the basket looks really big, in rhythm, didn't panic, knocked down the jumper.
Wolfpack have led by as many as 15. Now it's just a 7-point game with under 9 to play.
Wake's showing a little bit of a zone now.
Kick out past Jones. Rebound, Jarasinski. Connie feeds the post. Udo
nice.
Jarasinski unable to convert.
Post-to-post passing can be very nice sometimes. Almost had an easy basket there for Wake Forest.
Koenig, there's a whistle before she took the shot. See if they call this a shooting foul. Fourth foul on Kaylin Dixon on the floor. NC State to inbound.
Jane Hoover's electing to keep her in the basketball game right now. Keep a notice of that.
Ratza trying to contain Leslie. Inside Cunane. She's been quiet tonight. Rebound plucked by Udo.
It was a great defensive possession. They stopped Leslie on the drive, made her give the basketball up, let somebody else beat him, and when the goal goes inside, you're not able to get the second chance.
Cunane, reigning ACC Rookie of the Week. 0 for 5 from the floor, just 4 points off from the line. Only 4 rebounds. Connie with the shot clock winding down. Takes it to the basket, kicks it. Ratza short. Leslie the other way with numbers. Koenig with her. Leslie, don't need no help.
Dixon's got the 4 fouls. Conti looked like he came up a little lame there. She looks like she's okay now. But an opportunity for Wake Forest, it goes away. So they're trying to involve Leslie on a lot of down screens.
Garasinski, top of the key jumper.
I'm telling you that I think I'd have to go back and look at the tape and graphic and everything, but the high-low situations for Wake Forest has been damaging the last 4 or 5 basketball games. They've been able to get some nice things out of that.
Leslie was wide open, missed the shot, and then Jones right there for the stick back. No one blocked her out.
Jones is one of those really strong weak side rebounders. They talk about how she works on both ends at time to follow up. No one dared to defend it.
That was not a defensive sequence. Wake Forest will be very proud.
The box out, putting the body on her.
Connie step back. Good block out by Jones on Udo.
And I'll tell you what, if this might be, if you can get a stop, this might be a good time if you're Wake Forest to use one of those last 2 timeouts. Settle everybody down, keep them locked in on the defensive end, and make sure we're moving and getting good shots.
Leslie exploding to the basket again.
Lindsay was a little too slow coming up there. You've got to come in and attack her. You've got to kind of stop her early because she gets ahead of steam. She's going to score. Leslie tough on the bounce.
21 points now for Kiera Leslie. Still 10 shy of her career high. She had 31 at Boston College.
And she dominated in that ball game too.
It was on January the 6th. A reaching foul there on Rogers. Third on Didi. Wake Forest really can't afford too many more empty possessions. So Ratza takes it. And Koenig cleans up the board.
Easy shot made hard that time.
I don't know about you, but NC State fans have to feel so comfortable when Leslie's got the ball.
Oh yes, no question about it.
Rogers attacks the rack. She'll get to the line.
Until the rules were changed, freedom of movement. You used to hear coaches talk about, you know, pro style, taking it easy. She's taking it easy. Just dribbles, sets up the defender, a little quick move, and goes to the glass. That's right. Kiera Leslie, CJ Leslie's little sister. She's doing work.
Midway through the final quarter on this ACC Thursday night, final night in January. Stan Luter, the Leslie legacy continues for the NC State Wolfpack.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just telling you, she finds ways to score, dangerous off the bounce. She can knock down the three. Like we said, she leads the team in rebounding, she leads the team in scoring. But I tell you, somebody's had a great night tonight has been Miss Gina Conte, and she's done it a lot of ways. She handles the basketball, #2 in the ACC in assists, but tonight she's looking for a shot, and she's found a spot that she likes, about 10 to 12 feet away, nice elevation. She looks, gets a little dap from her teammate, there's a little pick and roll, a little roll action, little guy goes in there and scores. Watch this play here, inside, back out, she spots up, she knocks it down. Gina Conte having a nice game offensively and also getting involved defensively with a couple of steals.
Missed free throws, keeping Wake Forest in the game.
This Wake Forest, I mean, this North Carolina State team is 9th best in the ACC. They've been shooting just a shade under 70%.
Not tonight. Right now they're a shade under 60%.
Something to keep in mind as this game goes on. Lindsay provides the physicality inside.
Wild shot, Ratza, count it, and one. How did she make that one?
Going to the post, split the defender, and then off bounce, he gets it up with the left hand, nice little roll there. Keeps your eyes on the basket, concentrate, and one of the best free throws in the conference. As I jinxed her, my bad, misses the free throw. And you don't believe in it, I know, but
No.
you saw it. Well, it's okay, but you said, I said it, you saw it. If I hadn't said anything about it, she makes the three-point play. I know you don't believe in it, but hey.
Maybe she should have shot it with her left hand, flailing to her left off balance. Like
Maybe I shouldn't have said she was a good free throw shooter. And I bet I won't say it the next time she goes there.
Jarasinski fouls Cunane. My question is, why doesn't it work the other way? If I went down there and you were like, you're a terrible free throw shooter.
Oh, it would.
I'm not going to start
If
draining
I
them.
said that to you,
You think I'm going to start knocking them down?
no. No. If you can't shoot, you can't shoot. No. No. Wouldn't matter what I said to you.
Tell you, Stan, there was a time that I could really shoot, and that time has passed.
I can relate. If you're Wake Forest now, settle in. Make this 4:25 the most important possessions of the game, offensively and defense. Test your passes. Be smart with the basketball. If you're NC State, you got to be solid. Take no possessions off. Continue to do the things you've done well. They've only played 4 games, 10 points or less. Obviously, they're 4-0 in those basketball games.
20-0 overall. They've held 19 of their 20 opponents under 40% from the floor. Wake at 38.6% right now. And Maya Banks gets to the free throw line.
Excellent recognition by Maya Banks. She comes out about 18 feet away, and she slips the screen right there. NC State's slow to get over and rotate, and Maya's going to get a chance to go to the free throw line. Very smart play by the sophomore. She shoots 44% from the line.
She's got 2 points tonight. Now she's got 3.
Nice adjustment as a shooter. You always can find out a lot about a shooter if they're long one time or off. Can they make the adjustment? She made the adjustment, knocked it down. We got a ball game.
Repossession game as Cunane bumps into Banks inside. Third foul on Maya.
You know, we were talking off camera about this team being a little more physical, getting a little surly side, and they've done that in the second half of this game. Hit back.
Cunane doesn't have a field goal, but she's 6 of 7 from the charity stripe.
Comes in shooting 72%, like we mentioned a minute ago, earlier in the game, the National Rookie of the Week last week.
Wolfpack up by 10, under 4 to play.
There's a high-low, and you've got Conti low, and then she pops out.
Cunane there defensively. Inside, Elisa Cunane for 2.
That's power basketball on both ends. The block on one side, hustles down. She does her work early, gets in the low block. Not a lot Banks could do inside. That's a big-time play by Cunane.
Cunane looking like the closer tonight for NC State as a nice feed inside, connects with Udo. Back to a 10-point game, closing in on 3 minutes to play.
Nice little baseline screen, gets on an open on the baseline. She's able to catch and finish. But the NC State's got to continue this, take their time. They milk the clock right now.
Wide open, Crutchfield.
Bam!
Got it!
Wide open, Crutchfield.
Is there an echo?
Yeah. The Millbrook Wildcat.
Homegrown talent from Wolfpack land. Fouls on NC State. That's the 4th team foul of the quarter.
There's a little bit of movement there, and you leave a shooter wide open. You cannot do that. You got a taut head on a swivel, and Crutchfield knocks down yet another 3 in this game. Unsung hero. Remember that big rebound she had there? She steps up, knocks down a shot when you need to. All the little things to help you win. Everybody doing their job.
If you joined us late, NC State was up 20-11 after the first. Last 3 quarters have all been close and competitive, back and forth. Ratza now with 17 points, but the time is ticking on the Deacs. Down 11 with 2 to play. NC State, I'm not sure they look like a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament tonight.
It's okay.
But they're
okay.
2 minutes away from getting a road win in the ACC, which you never take for granted. Wes Moore takes a timeout, and we will take it too. 1:47 to go. Ivana Ratza has been the primary offensive force for the Deacs. Her shot brings Wake within 11.
When you're undefeated and nationally ranked, you've got to have somebody that's going to be the money player. So far for NC State, Kiera Leslie's answering the role. Jump shot she makes, she puts it on the floor, she scores. In traffic, scores, uses the offhand. Faces up, knocks it down, bam, 21 points again. She can score so many different ways. You've got to find ways to defend her. Keep the ball off her hand, but it's too late because she blows right by you. Kiera Leslie, you want to look at an All-American, you want to look at a potential ACC Player of the Year. That's right, I said it, a potential ACC Player of the Year candidate right there. 15 points in the second half when you needed it the most. Kiera Leslie, that's right, she's knocking them down from a lot of different ways.
Shot clock at 5 here. They go to their star. Leslie fires. Shot clock violation.
Good defense for Wake Forest after the timeout. You have to get a stop. You get that. Understand now, time and score if you're the Demon Deacons.
Time and score recognition means shooting the ball pretty quickly here, doesn't it?
It means getting a good shot. Don't take a bad one. Understand who's got fouls, what the timeout situation is, what the ball possession goes.
It's a lot of factors.
Well, that's why you have to understand them all. Now with the clock winding down, don't force anything, get a good shot. Can't waste time.
Dixon, short, gets her own rebound. To Ratza. And Wake Forest is now 3 of 14 from beyond the arc tonight. Foul on Crutchfield keeps it at this end. 2 free throws for Connie. Deacs in the bonus.
After that timeout, you've got someone talking, an assistant coach or even players saying, hey, next dead ball on our possession, if it's a jump ball, we've got 2 timeouts, they've got 2. You're talking about fouls. There's a lot of things you've got to understand. Who to foul if you're Wake Forest. Keep it out of her hands. But you can't wait long. Come up, gotta get the ball out of her hands.
Leslie just dribbling around the defenders like they're traffic cones.
Crutchfield shoots 66%. Rogers 63.
And they call a reach-in foul on Dixon, which will end her night and send Crutchfield to the line with 38.8 seconds on the clock.
Some of those times, situations like that, when you want to go offense for defense, you may have to match up with a size that you don't necessarily want. But it might have been a thought to get someone else on the floor to pick up the foul. NC State very fortunate they were able to use about 25 seconds on that possession before there was a foul.
4 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers for Kaylin Dixon in 25 minutes as she fouls out of the game. Crutchfield tonight, big minutes.
Here we go.
More missed free throws though, and Jen Hoover takes her penultimate timeout, trailing by 10.
Her next to last one too. And so she takes that timeout and they're able to advance the ball to half court. I don't think the rebounder, maybe they did say the rebounder advanced it just a bit. I think that's what they're gonna say.
I don't understand.
Well, they called the timeout, then they said they didn't, and now they're talking about it.
How can you call a timeout, have the whistle blow, and then not credit them with the timeout?
I don't know, but what I'm doing if I'm Wake Forest is I'm getting my players down the court ready to advance to basketball. Let them decide that we either got the time. We got the timeout. We got the buck stop. So if they charge us for it, we'll find out. The only problem is they're not able to advance it like they'd like to half court. Let's see, if I'm Gina Conti, I'm pushing up a little bit. Save some time. Keep coming down the floor. There you go.
Angelica Suffren is not content with how this has been resolved. She blows her whistle, puts both hands in the air, and says, Bruce Morris, let's talk. ACC scoreboard tonight. Louisville, UConn, not quite a final, but 30 seconds left or so. Be a big win for the ACC, and it's a UConn team that had beaten Louisville 17 straight times, had won 133 of their last 134 games overall in the regular season. And hey, look, it's a timeout called by Wake. Wes Moore walked out like he wanted an explanation and was like, forget it. Duke BC down to the wire, 2-point game. Georgia Tech, North Carolina. Good ball games in the ACC tonight. Notre Dame all over Clemson.
That's football payback, too.
That was a bizarre sequence we just had.
Yeah, but it worked well for Wake Forest. You got the timeout.
They got 2 timeouts for the price of 1.
Unfortunately, you're not able to advance to basketball there yet. Coach Phil's going to put a little pressure on, say, I wanted to get the ball. You got to hurry, got to hurry, got to hurry. Be quick, but don't hurry. Got to hurry.
You got to be quick and hurry.
Yeah, now you do.
Banks kicks it. Connie sticks it.
Timeout.
Jen Hoover uses her final timeout as Wake gets within 7, 24.3 on the clock.
Go inside out. My Banks shows a little patience inside. Maybe would have taken that shot. She takes it, squares up, finds Conti. Conti gets a little contact from Leslie, but concentrates and yet knocks it in. Is able to get back up again. Good ball movement. There's a spacing. You've got an inside-out potential. She goes outside, knocks the 3. You get the timeout, and you live to fight another battle. Make this possession by possession. You can squeeze a lot of time out of this 24-3.
The box score will not do Gina Connie justice on how active she has been throughout the game tonight. I mean, she's played every minute but 1. 5 of 12 from the floor, 15 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, but it was her defensive intensity that really kind of swung the momentum. It looked like NC State was going to run away with this up by 15, and Connie's energy at the defensive end translated into offense and got Wake Forest back in.
Well, she made that pull-up jumper. Remember, she had a little drive and score. She was in post defense against a much bigger player, and she was able to get a deflection. She had the strip steal. She's been all over the floor. She leads the ACC in minutes played, number 2 in assists, and really struggled shooting from the 3 so far in ACC play, only 5 of 23. But today has been willing to take the jumper and has seen it go in the basket. It's got more and more confidence as NC State has to take the timeout.
Well, they take the timeout to be able to advance the ball. No time runs off the clock, 24.3 remaining. Let's talk again about NC State's February schedule. It will be a much more daunting gauntlet than their January schedule.
It will, and they understand who they are. They're very comfortable with it. They're not trying to rush. They play smart. Tonight they valued the basketball. You look at that Carolina game, always in motion. They go down to Tallahassee. That will be important. Syracuse, always a tough place to play when you go upstate New York and win that Notre Dame game. And who knows? I mean, it could conceivably be a battle of maybe, 1 and 2, 2s and 3s, something like that. And I think NC State will move up a little bit with the UConn loss, especially as convincing as it was.
I'm not sure NC State will be ranked ahead of UConn.
Well, I didn't say they would. That's what they could be thought about. But didn't UConn lose it? That's that's UConn's third loss?
Second loss.
Third loss.
It'll be their second loss. They're 18-1 heading into tonight.
They lost to Baylor,
And that was it.
and then they lost to Baylor. Beat them pretty badly. They beat okay.
Deacons have a road trip to Tallahassee and then a home game next Thursday against the Clemson Tigers. Resurgent Clemson squad. Trips to Syracuse and Raleigh on tap in February as well for Jen Hoover's team. Trailing by 9 with 14 seconds to go, and NC State takes over.
But I tell you what, with all the adversity this Wake Forest team has had to face lately with injuries and whatnot, I love the way they've come out and are playing. And it's going to pay off for them one day. Don't give up, don't give down. You're just going to be okay. But I love the fight in it, but this NC State team's too tough.
The only undefeated team in the country is still perfect into the month of February.
NC State's good, man.
Wolfpack improved to 21-0. Final score, 59-50. North Carolina State gets the road win here in Winston-Salem tonight. Kiera Leslie with a game-high 23 points. Ace Koenig didn't score in the second half, but her 10 points in the first half set the tone, and she played a team-high 39 minutes tonight. Wake Forest led by Ivana Ratza, 17 points in 40 minutes. Gina Connie had 15 in 39. We thank you for being with us on this Thursday night. Amidst all your basketball options, it's a pleasure to bring you the Deeks in the Pack for the 85th time. For Stan Luter and Haley Brooke McFadden, I'm Evan Lepler saying good night from the Joel Coliseum. Congrats to the Wolfpack. Hope they can keep it rolling. It's a fun story in college basketball.
We're back.